Hello, everybody. Welcome. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. It's 2018. And we had an amazing breakfast. If you want to watch our previous video, you'll see a beautiful blueberry Belgian waffles we just had.
Yeah.
And now we're getting ready to make our awesome Christmas turkey dinner.
Yep, we're starting. It was a good morning. We had the best Belgian waffles ever, and I just posted the video, and you guys can watch it.
They were topped with homemade whipped cream, and so now I'm going to use the rest of the whipped cream and make a fruit cocktail.
Fruit cocktail.
Ambrosia. I'm making ambrosia.
Right,
Yes.
so we've got the whipped cream here. And Sarah's got that, and she's added some of
I
the...
added a little of the blueberries that were left over. That's what the dark spot is that you see. And then I've got this Fiesta fruit. Anyway, it's got...
Del Monte makes that, yeah.
Pineapple, red, and yellow papaya, and cherries, and... There we go.
That's
Nice.
great. And we have little cans of fruit cocktail we're going to add to it, or Sarah's going to add to it.
Yeah.
This is an ambrosia base for a cake. If you wanted to make a cake, you could use
just do
it.
I've always had it without the cake. I've always had ambrosia without the cake.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I've had it with cake, in cake, and it's they add bananas to it and layer it. And I've never had a better cake than that ambrosia cake. I think I told you guys about that the other
A
day.
few times.
About 14,000 times.
No, I don't know about that.
I'm going to turn the volume of the light down a little bit because I think we're a little bit overly bright.
Yeah, it's bright outside.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's okay. That's a little bit better. Yeah.
I'm draining some fruit cocktail juice, corn syrup stuff.
Yeah, luckily it's not snowing or raining here where we are, but I understand it's like 35 degrees below zero in Bismarck, North Dakota.
It's an extra light syrup fruit cocktail with like pears and peaches.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, pears and peaches.
And I wonder, should I do both cans?
Yeah, go ahead since this is a big thing.
I'm going to drain out all the juice. It doesn't need any extra liquid.
Yeah, and you can compost the juice or liquid out of these containers, so it can still be used in the soil. We pretty much compost everything except the bones. Yeah.
And they say you can throw the thing is that you want to make sure if you do a compost heap and you put in meat that you make sure that it's totally sealed from outside vermin.
Vermin, yeah.
Rats and mice.
Right.
Okay. Alright, so now the best part of this is organic shredded coconut lightly sweetened with organic cane sugar.
Cool.
So I'm gonna put some of that in there. And then, did your ambrosia have walnuts in it?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what I was gonna do too. Some
Yeah,
walnuts.
the ambrosia cake that I had at a friend's wedding was phenomenal. I'll never forget it. It was an Iranian wedding because his wife was Iranian and he was an American guy. And it was an incredible experience, I must say. The cultural difference between our countries was bridged at this wedding, and ambrosia cake was their choice. Yeah, it's a lot of Americans are kind of enjoying the Christmas right now. We're having a rough economy. Yeah, I would say that the economy is just starting to rear its ugly face. That would be the best description for what's happening. And I think many of us are going to have to realize that our leaders have been borrowing money and putting everything on credit. So everything seemed like it was running just fine, except they weren't fiscally responsible. And that's why we're in the pickle we're in right now, in case you're wondering. And that's why our show every night has been such a big part of our lives, because as Americans, we really care about our destiny. And I don't think enough of us are really able to do that, change that. We feel frustrated as a nation. And that's why we do what we do. In case you're wondering, why we do this for, 10 years now for free. And
Why is David doing that show?
why is David doing the show for free? I mean, why would
He
anyone do
explains this
that?
to me every day, by the way.
What's that?
You explain it to me almost every day.
Well, I almost have to, because it's hard to understand from most people's perspective why anyone would do anything for free.
Well, yeah.
No, really.
I know, but it's
most
not
people-
that I ask why you're doing it every day. You just explain
I just tell it to
me
people.
every
Yeah, I
day.
tell it to you. And I think I'm just reaffirming to everyone that, this has been more of an effort to bridge past the corruption in our country and the censorship. And in order to do that, you almost have to be a little superhuman.
My goodness, this smells really good.
Okay, let's get back to the Christmas instead of politics.
I know. Somebody asked last night in the chat room.
Yeah.
They said, "Sarah, would you love David? I bet you would prefer if David would take you out on some kind of date." And I said, "You know what would happen if David took me out on a date? He'd end up talking about the show, politics, or some
how late the cook is and getting the dinner
or chemtrails or
chemtrails.
something.
Yeah, it's better
Or
I do
complain
this.
about the cook, or yeah."
It's better I do this because, like we just made a Belgian waffle that you couldn't find at a restaurant anywhere in the country, if not the world. I mean, genetically modified food is everywhere. And we made it with non-GMO food, organic. And I can't even describe the difference. I mean, if this was a nouveau cuisine restaurant, it would charge probably $30 for one Belgian waffle, the way we made it. So I just feel like homemade is better than anything you can buy at a store now or fast food. So I teach people how to do things.
Oh, I was going to make some of this without.
themselves.
That's just it. That's okay.
I think it
made
looks
this
great.
for myself because
Yeah, it looks good.
it's one of my favorite Christmas things. Christmas dishes from. when I
And you
was a
rinse
kid.
those walnuts too.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so we have a bunch of walnuts that we picked up that are right around the
Probably.
they're right around the time when you got to actually eat walnuts, otherwise they'll kind of go bad. And these aren't going bad at all. They taste great, but you can tell like they're right at that edge. So it's a good time to eat them.
I have to step off camera.
Oh, you stepped off camera. Oh, okay, I'm gonna step off camera.
No, you don't have to.
Oh, okay, I'm here now.
I was tasting.
Oh, you were tasting. Okay.
A good chef always tastes throughout. Okay.
I think everybody would like to at least see a bit of our
This is
kitchen.
really good.
I'm going to give you guys a little video tour real quick with this
Should
camera.
I move all those papers out of the way?
No, I'm going to kind of skirt around that. But I want to show everybody what we did with our kitchen
Okay.
real quick. Take a moment off. We've got a beautiful array of ripening tomatoes
Still ripening.
from Sarah's garden. And of course we have our beautiful view, which you can't really see because it's too bright out there. But let me go back. That's our new laptop, which is also a Christmas gift, which is incredible. It's a Dell G7 gaming laptop, and it's really amazing. I'm blown away. Windows 10, 128 gigabyte solid state hard drive with a 1 terabyte off drive, 16 gigs of RAM, i7, 8th generation chip. It's incredible. I've never had a better laptop.
They all asked for a closet tour, so I'll do a cabinet tour.
Oh, a cabinet tour. There you go.
Here's our dishes.
Here's our collection of dishes, and I can stretch over there. See?
More dishes.
And then we have a lot of Pyrex. That's what Sarah takes her school stuff with. Is this?
Yeah, these last ones David got for me last year.
Yeah, they're really good. They store stuff really well in glass. And then I just wanted to take a peek of the center aisle there, and I wanted to show everybody. Oh, we just have enough room to stretch the camera right there.
Here, you want me to move?
No, you don't have to do just slightly. But we planted a tomato last year, and it's still
you
growing
can
in the
barely
window. They
see
can
it.
barely see it.
Oh, we'll have to move the laptop
No,
later.
that's okay. We're fine. All right, back to the cooking segment of the show.
Okay, I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator to chill because it's even better when it's chilled. And I've made room because I have just enough room in here because I took out the turkey. So I
Yeah.
have enough room
Oh, you have
now.
just enough room to store it now. Good. All right, well, I'm going to let Sarah lead on this dinner because it's always better that she has the free reign because she's very cautious and careful.
I just take
And I want her to take her time, too.
Take my time. That's how it should be.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to start with, here, I'm going to start by, I like to like clean as I go, so that'll go away. And let me just put these away. Dishwasher's good. I'm going to rinse off my cutting board before I get started with anything else. Okay. So we're going to do a couple things at a time at the same. Oh, that's weird. I should move this camera over or something.
Where do you want it? Tell me where you want it.
Well, like this camera scooted over that way. Here, I'll do it. That's I'm talking about the thing on the screen. It's good where it is. It's just see how your face is cut
just
off?
like right there?
Yeah, like that. That's
okay, that's better. That's what I had earlier. All right.
Okay. All right. I'm going to start with a couple things at the same time. My next step is to get stuffing going. So for stuffing, it requires a few different things. Of course, the bread. But before you even get the bread going, what I learned from Thanksgiving was that I should get the sausage and maybe the giblets going. Probably, I just couldn't do the sausage.
I'll peel the onion.
You'll peel the onion, okay. Awesome.
And we're going with the real old-fashioned breakfast sausage.
We decided to splurge for Christmas.
Yeah, we bought the breakfast sausage. We didn't like the effect of the last sausage, so we're going with a really kind of a little more oily sausage when we make the stuff.
A more traditional breakfast sausage.
A little bit more pork fat in there, but whatever.
That's okay. It's Christmas.
I know.
Have to have a little pork fat every once in a while.
Splurge on that pork fat.
Okay. There we go. That's kind of a nice shot. David's hands in the background and my hands in the foreground. Okay, I've got my celery.
Nice. That's organic celery we picked up, and these are organic onions we picked up. We're trying to shop for less anything without genetically modified, non-GMO organic is what we're shooting for whenever we buy. Anytime you see those labels, buy them. They're very good. With genetically modified, you don't know what you're getting. And remember, they're genetically modifying them so that they accept more herbicides in their system and let the weeds around them die. And that's not good for you. You know? All right. I'll use the compost too. Thank you.
Keep our compost under our sink, which is really good.
Yeah.
And we just have an old Tupperware container that we use. David was looking at compost bins the other day.
Yep.
And the ones that they sell as compost bins, they always have this carbon mesh and lids on top or holes on top. We never understand that.
Yeah, there's always like holes on top of the compost bins with a carbon that's supposed to filter it. Do you want me to dice those?
Sure, you're good.
Yeah, let's switch positions. If you want to do the bread, I can do the. You don't want to pull the strings off of these.
Oh, I don't know.
You do,
I'll pull the strings off of these.
Okay, here's a paring knife. There you go.
Okay. Well, let me get a different knife.
Okay. Yeah, the key to cooking is really taking it easy and slow down. You know, during my cooking show, I've spent way more time than need be on talking to the camera like this. I could easily cook in half the time. That's how fast of a cook I am. So you really want to slow down, and I have to actually toggle myself down when making food.
It helps be around me. I always toggle myself down, period.
Yeah, you really are. You're very relaxing. Normally I would be, much more rushed. I think for me, cooking is stress relief. So I'll put a lot of the stress of my day in my cooking, which means I'm cooking quickly, when I should be thinking the opposite, just relax.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a pretty stress-free life for a long time for me, and I'm very happy about that. I don't think I could have even done the show if I hadn't retired at 50, because you really have with doing the show every day. It's not doing the show that's so tiring. It's the fact that we have to get up and do it every day. It's the sameness.
Just like people in jobs.
Yeah, no different than a job, really. It's the sameness that kind of is tedious. At about 600 shows, we evaluated, where we're at, and I said I'm just going to keep going. And Sarah was kind enough to offer me the extra time in the show to give me a break. But we're way past 3,000 shows now, and it's been like a daily effort to just keep it going, and then we're doing it for you too, because I know a lot of you don't have a way to express yourself. Chatting is the best way for a lot of people, and without that venue, it would be like constant chat rolling down the screen, and people don't even have a clue as to what anyone's saying. It's ROLF, LOL, all kinds of weird expressions, but no one communicating. Whereas in our show, you get a lot of people communicating, and they get into... I can do that, huh?
I'm capable.
I know you're capable, but I'm a quick chopper. But
Okay, here, go ahead. I know you want to.
I do. I love to chop. I have a quick chop hand.
Okay, let me get out of your way.
You want to put that in here?
Before you chop, let me just start something.
Okay.
One thing, and then I'll let you chop.
All right. My hands off. Yeah.
Show me to start.
It's always good to have a paper towel. Don't trust rags when you're cooking. Don't keep an old sponge around. That's an important thing, because you want to always keep your hands clean, and paper towel is always good. Just dab it. You can reuse the paper towel, but without that cleanliness factor, you run into the risk of bacteria. And they say that sponges and washcloths collect bacteria. So
Okay.
So Sarah's going to start with the. That's the wrong one. I'll put it in.
I tried.
Oh, I know.
You
It's
can
this
do that
one.
too. Just...
Okay, I'm going to start the toast. We'll get the toaster in there, and I'm going to start cutting here. And Sarah can take a little break. Thank you. Very nice.
We're getting it ready to go in the pan.
To saute the onions
We're gonna-
and the celery.
Yeah, put celery, onion, sage, parsley. I guess David will go outside and get some parsley at that point.
Yes.
So we'll be good. I'm going to clean up while he does that.
I go for about an 1/8 inch cut with the, because sometimes you use the base for the gravy and you want it to be a fairly thin cut on the onions and the celery. Because a lot of the base can go into the gravy. You don't need to have big chunks of either onions or celery in this particular meal. And I even have some harvested sage I picked up a few years ago in our garden, and I'm going to probably... I would have preferred fresh sage. I'm thinking of making a trip out there and grabbing a few fresh leaves, actually. Even though it's winter time, there's still some fresh sage on that. I really love this taste of sage.
If I do water in the microwave, does it affect the show?
No, it won't. We're not uploading this until later, so it won't affect it. If you want to run the micro, you can. All right.
I'm going to do my trick I say is good. Just hot water inside the turkey.
I'm going to spray the rear of this pan. I'm setting up a level 3 over here, and I'm just going to put a little bit of oil on the bottom of the pan. So I'll use my atomizer. You don't have to. Have that on. Okay, and the onions go inside. And we'll do the celery the same way. Keeping the tip down. You then use it as a lever point like that, rocking the knife back and forth. And keep your hands like this so they're not, your fingers aren't underneath. Hey, one place to toast is done. Great. Great. Okay. Throw that in there. We're all done. I'm going to push that around, and then I'm going to throw a little sage in with it. I'm going to take and crush up some old sage that I have here. I'm going to get some fresh from the garden. It doesn't hurt to get the sage going right now, so just got to get the flavor going, but you don't want stems like that. That could be a problem. So when you buy sage at the market, it doesn't have stems, so nothing to worry about. Only when you have harvested yourself. Now what I do is I get the onions glazed a little bit with a level 3 heat. Just kind of steam cook them for a bit, steam fry them, and then throw the sausages in. But I pre-cut the sausages. I don't know if you want to just let them. I think pre-cutting the sausages, you can do that ahead of time. And Sarah is making her own natural stuffing here, all out of organic 9-grain bread. Or actually, this is the best bread I've ever had. Actually, it's like David's Killer bread, but it's Franz's organic bread. Very similar product.
Since we're doing apple walnut stuffing, I wonder if I should use that apple slicer thing.
Yeah.
That you got me for Christmas. David got me an apple core slicer.
I think it'll put too many. I think we better hand peel these. Just 2 hand peel would be good. Because if we got it, it's just a big setup, and I don't want any peelings. No, I don't want any peelings in the dinner. So.
I don't know why not.
Well, if you want to do it, go ahead. You can show everybody how to do it.
Okay. I mean,
you got the time. I don't have a problem. I'm going to do some stuff outside now that I did all that.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm going to get some sage and some parsley.
All right.
So Sarah can show you what we picked up for an amazing deal at Ace. So she wants to set that up.
It's not a big setup anymore. It was when we first got it put together, but now I can just pull it out, pop it down. It'll be fine. Okay. Go get that. Here's the product. Peel away. I just feel like I've not as I like. Okay, toast. A lot Lots of moving parts when you're cooking. With the stuffing, I've got to constantly be toasting the bread. By the time the next 2 toasts come out, that'll be a good sign that it'll be time to put the sausage in. So keep that toast going right here. And let me set up this apple core. So this is it. And it just sits down. Oh wait. It's supposed to seal on. Maybe it's because it's a little wet. I don't know. We'll see. That's probably good. And then, let me see. Okay, now I've got to put the apple in it. So you just take a full whole apple like that. You push it in. It has these little like poker things. So you push in the apple into these pokers. There we go. And wait, let's see. Oh, I didn't pull it back right. I didn't do that quite right. I've got to pull. I've only used this a couple times, so bear with me. Where is that? That's not coming out. That needs to come through here. There we go. Now we got it. Okay, now, there we go. Now I poke it. Get it ready to slice.
Wow. It is cold, but not that cold. I went out there without a jacket on.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. That has to have a suction cup on it.
It does, kind of.
Well, no, it needs a flat surface like that.
Okay, whatever.
It's got to have a suction on it. Okay.
But
So
then I this is not good.
that's better, yeah. I think we're done cutting, I think, right here. I can pull these out of here. Let me pull the breadboard out of here.
That's, okay, whatever.
Okay.
I feel like this is the wrong side. I'm gonna try it.
You're very ambitious today, I must say.
There we go. Now we're talking.
Let me get a plate out of there for you.
It really needs like 2 bundles like that. No, I need this like to not get the junk.
Okay, you're good. There's one peeled apple. So everyone's looking at the peeled apple there. I picked up a massive amount of parsley and sage from the garden.
Where's my other pie? Okay, it's probably time to put in the
full cup of parsley going into my stuffing. Wow. Our stuffing. That does a great job with those apples. Wow, you're right. It really did work faster. I'll pop this out of here.
in some ways faster, in some ways slower, but put this in here. Okay, you want to put the sausage in? No, you want to do the sausage, so let me get this out of the way.
Yeah, I can cut the
Do
sausage.
you want to cut the sausage? You want a plate or a cutting board?
Do you want one more round of bread, or are we good?
I want all that.
All of it?
Well, what do you want?
Yeah, one more round of bread. We'll do hill slices.
I did all the hill slices.
Okay, we'll do 2 more slices. I'll say 2 for you. Okay, let me open up that compost for you, Sarah. There you go. Right
Okay, I've
on.
got to do a couple more apples in a minute, but
Okay.
there's lots of moving parts here.
Yeah, now I'm just going to do a quick cut on the sausages, so everyone can look at that. Rinse my hands off in the garden. All right, you cut along the package here. Whenever you cut meat, you want to make sure that you do it on a surface like a plate, so it doesn't contaminate anything.
Or you have a meat only cutting board. Some people do.
Yeah, but the meat gets in into the wood, and when you do that, the meat automatically. No, you can't really get the wood clean after you start contaminating it. It'll never be clean. Wood has a tendency, because it's organic, of taking in all the germs that accumulate when meat is distributed. So what I do is I just take a few of these together like a log, and just kind of cut them in half-inch squares. That way they're bite-sized in the stuffing. And a saw blade is preferable. A sharp saw blade. And eventually you just have a mash of sausages, but what I'm going to do is just do some basic cuts and then throw them right into the onions and the celery. They kind of mashes up, but you get the idea. Kind of bunch them together and saw down the middle. And these don't have much holes on them, so that they kind of melt down into the dish.
Much what on them?
You know, sausages typically are made with the lining of whatever.
Yeah.
The gut of the animal. And admittedly, this is a little bit messier
Then cutting them afterwards.
than cutting them afterwards.
You could cut them afterwards. That's the other option.
Yeah, you can cut them afterwards, but I just like to throw it all in there and start getting the mix going.
This way your hands don't get too hot too.
Yeah, right. And you don't have to let them cool off. Okay, now one of the key ingredients to making a stuffing is, we're doing the first layer right now. We are not doing the next layer, which is to make the chicken broth or the turkey broth. So the next thing that Sarah's going to do is pull the turkey apart. Now I'm going to put this in the middle of the pan. I'll show people how I'm doing this.
Okay,
I'm going to put it right in the middle of the pan like this. Right on top of the onions. And I'm going to let it cook for a while initially. And then we'll go ahead and then I'll push it all down to the bottom, and then we'll cook those sausages hard. So I'm keeping it level 3 and just letting them kind of sit right now. And now I'll let Sarah take over. All right, cool. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to go around this way.
Clean off the knife.
Okay. Okay, got it. Thank you. That was just the toast coming out. So when you're making your own homemade stuffing, a big key ingredient is, of course, toast.
You got to talk a little louder.
Key ingredient is toast when you make your homemade stuffing.
There you go. That's good. Yeah.
All right.
I'll do the
And
toast part.
always, when you have a sausage plate, that whatever you cut your meat on, put it in the dishwasher right away.
Right.
That's a big thing that you should do. wire out of my face.
Can I snip open the bag?
Of course you can. You want to take over?
No, I'm good. I'm just going to snip the top off of this turkey. This turkey was an incredible deal. We got it for $9. It's a 14-pound turkey. And it's been sitting in the refrigerator, and it may still be frozen. We'll find out right away if it is. I'm just going to go after the interior of it.
Wait just a sec before you reach your hand in there.
You going to put some hot water in there?
Yeah, this is always the best.
Okay, so Sarah's going to run some hot water, disinfect
This
this.
is, instead of putting your hand right into it and getting your hand nice and cold,
There you go.
put some hot water in,
Mm-hmm.
then even if it was frozen, it'll start to thaw it out.
Oh, good.
And, oh, look at that neck.
Beautiful.
That is
Wow.
a meaty neck. That is big. That was a big turkey.
Okay, put it right in this container right here. And the gizzards. And what I'm going to do is cook the gizzards and the neck separately. I'm going to put a little oil.
Or something. Gizzards, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's more of the neck.
But that's-
Too weird.
that's not edible. No, that goes bye-bye. That's like the worst part. That can go in the compost heap. It's got hardly any bones in it. It's mostly cartilage.
Okay.
And rinsing it off is a good idea. You know, rinsing the bird off at this point. Never hurts to rinse it off. There you go. There you go. I'll take that. That's the gizzards. And I'm going to put that in that pan I was telling you about.
And I'm going to pour the rest of the hot water in here. The thing about the hot water, in my opinion, is it does two things. One, it helps so that you don't have to put your hand inside of cold turkey. And two, it starts to cook it on the interior,
That's true.
which is the hardest, most difficult spot to
And if it's still frozen in that area, the hot water really takes away that heat and starts the initial heating process, like Sarah said. Okay, rinsing my hands off and paper towel it. Okay, what I'm going to do is, oh, sorry. What I'm going to do,
Okay, maybe I should just.
nope, we're good. I just want to take a little bit, I want to show people how, I'm going to take a little bit of the, so I've got this in another pan here like that. And I've got those onions cooking in the back, and I'm going to grab some of those onions out of that pan. That's why I didn't take all the onions. Just some of them. And I can put that with the, I'm going to put that with this dish right here. Just kind of sprinkle a little of the onions. There. Okay, and then I'm going to take the spatula and push the sausage into the bottom of the grill at this point. Get it right on the metal. And I use stainless steel, so if you ever worry about any type of and that's still at level 3, and this is at level 3 too, in front. So we're going to heat this up. Kind of, you can actually fry it a little bit. Then I'm going to add water to it and make a broth out of the front grill. But I picked up some of this great sage, and I wanted to take some of the sage and snip it with some scissors into the dish. So I'm going to show you how to do that. This is fresh from the garden. And oh, and Sarah's putting the turkey in here. Let's watch this. See that? She's setting the turkey up in our stainless steel steamer.
Here, that's good enough for now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Sarah. All right, I'm going to show you folks how this this fresh sage goes in there. Now, if you have the luxury of sage, you just sprinkle it on. Don't worry about the freshness factor. But yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and give you guys a little tour of how that works. There we go. Okay, so both the sausage and the onions, which are pre-cooking. And this all requires sage, and so does the turkey. So I'm just going to take it and bunch it up right here, like that, and just snip it off at the top. Very small.
That was a very fresh
Yeah,
sage.
very
Very
tight,
thin.
slips. And I'm telling you, this really adds a huge difference in the flavoring factor, the freshness factor. Because I saw this old sage, it's 5 years old. It's like I can barely even smell the sage in it. It's been sitting there. We'll still use the dried sage, but all right. So I have just enough for the entire meal here. Put some in one of the containers and some in the other container. Now you can use other herbs, and obviously Italian seasoning is a go-to thing for some people. I love it. Oregano is something that adds to the flavoring. Putting all this wonderful sage in here in the stuffing is really the way to go. Okay.
You're gonna leave some of
The rest is for the turkey itself, inside or on top. So what I'll do is I'll take this area here and I'll just snip it down to a fine mesh and add all the dry, and then we'll have a full sage thing. Okay, you want to take over, you can. Or I can cut the bread, one or the other. I think if you want to go ahead with the turkey.
Put the parsley and the bread?
I can cut the parsley, the bread, and inject the garlic too. If you want to prep the garlic, that would be great. I've got a few garlics left from our garden here, and I think we can still work with them. This one's going to seed here, but this one's not. We could use that one if you want to prep the garlic. Okay, and this one looks good too. We're going to put in garlic injection because I missed it last time, and I was wondering, gee, that tastes really good, and I thought, let's do this. Let's add garlic. Okay, so I think I'm done with the fresh sage, and I've got this bottle of regular sage. And I'll be done talking about sage. This stuff is like really good. Old, but still useful without the stems. All right. So Sarah's working on the garlic. I'm going to cut the bread. Some people really go all out, and we do. We really do go all out. We spend 4 hours cooking on our holidays. It's kind of amazing. Okay, you got that knife.
Here, go ahead.
I'll take this knife. Thank you.
Do you need the cutting board?
No, I can do this right here.
So you want the cutting board?
No. I want to keep all of these things right confined to this area. So I'm going to cut slices down this way. Like that. I think this particular knife is a little... I think I would like a saw blade. I've got a saw blade here. That's a little better.
See, David doesn't just use only that one knife.
Yeah, I use a variety of knives, but if you have a problem with a particular knife, get another one. Okay, this is making your own croutons. Normally the croutons come with a lot of salt in them, and they're not that healthy, and they're genetically modified. So these are not genetically modified. This is all natural, and all these breadcrumbs can be used for the mix. So we're creating breadcrumbs, but not breadcrumbs, lumps of croutons. And it's all organic, 100% 9-grain or great seed bread. It's kind of tedious. You did it last time. I was amazed how quick you did it. Last time it was like, Sarah just buzzed through these.
I didn't do like all of them at once.
Oh, you did them individually?
Oh, I didn't. I don't know. I did a lot though.
Yeah. Well, once you get the broth in there, and I'll be adding water
Well,
to
at that point, before the cubes I put into the bowl right now, so to give me more room to work.
Okay, so I'll put them in the bowl with the apple.
Yeah.
Okay. Good idea. All right, we're almost done with this part. Toasted first and then cut. They're kind of like quick stale, you know, because they use stale croutons whenever they make these things. And this is the fastest way to get croutons if you're going for it. Hey, so I'm going to add the water now to the turkey neck and gizzards and the heart and everything. So I'm going to add water to that from...
Right here.
Well, we had a container of water earlier.
It's right here. That was different.
Okay.
That what I used that on the turkey, and that was just from.
Go ahead and put a full cup and a half of water in there, like halfway up. There you go, halfway up.
That's about halfway. No.
A little bit more.
3/4 of the way.
That's
up.
good right there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to turn that level in the front up to 6 now, and I'm just going to cook that up really fast, and then we'll go from there. And I'm almost done with this section. And then you guys can spend time with Sarah and the apple maker. She's prepping the garlic. What I'm going to do is inject the garlic into the skin, but I'll do that after she does the apple maker because I'm getting a little ahead of you.
No, that's fine. They've already seen the apple maker. You can do it while I'm.
Well, how many apples do you want to do?
No, I can just do that. They've
Oh,
already
on the
seen
side,
one
you
of
mean?
them.
Oh.
I don't need to see all of them.
I don't mind.
No, because they've already seen how it works. So it's
Oh, okay, right. You're right. Alrighty.
It's like once you've seen one, like I'm sure they'd rather, now that they've seen bread, they should look at how I'm doing the garlic.
Yeah, go ahead and
Let's
move over
switch.
here, and we're gonna switch. I'm done with the bread. I made croutons out of it all, so we're good.
So I've just been taking garlic. I've just been peeling out all the garlic. And then David will show you what he does with this garlic.
Oh, that sausage mix is looking good. With the sage in it. That's
And then I
amazing.
have to crush this one.
I'll do that. You put all your leverage on it like this. You got to get away from the blade. There we go. Thank you. All right.
Like clean up as you go.
Oh, this is the song I have to get rid of.
It's okay, I don't mind it. It was
No.
just at that point when I was cooking and I was stressed out, and then it was like this really
Yeah.
stressful song comes on.
Right. That's the last thing you want on a Christmas stressful song.
Okay, so now the next thing I've got to do, I've got to clean this area. It's gross.
Do you want a paper towel or anything?
I don't know what I want. I just want something to clean this because it's really kind of gross.
Well, I can do whatever. I'll just watch
I'm
you.
almost done. Oh, I'm getting this area ready for you.
No, I
I
don't know.
just want to clean up. I've got like pieces of sage and
Yeah.
stems and garlic and it's just gross.
Yeah, that's coming to a boil, and it'll be boiling hard on the stove for a long time. It will be virtually cooking for about, I'd say, 40 minutes. But during that time, you'll have broth in there that you can draw out of.
Okay, I
So-
can put this in
In order to get the giblets off of the neck and everything, that's a long process. So it takes about 40 minutes minimum. So halfway through the cooking process, I take the broth and I use that in the dinner. And I am going to add a little bit of Italian seasoning to it. Okay, and you want to do the injection? You're good at that, or do you want me to do it?
Either way.
Okay. I use the small knives, those small little ones.
Yeah, I know. I got one.
Yeah, if you
I
want to
have
grab
one out somewhere,
Okay.
but I don't know where. So you can do it. Unless you want me to.
I'm good.
I'm just gonna do that.
Okay, everybody. All right, here comes the turkey. Wow.
Oh, this is just that bread on it, right?
Yeah, this bread is perfectly fine. Okay, what I'm going to do is turn the music off. I'm turning the music off. Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty, so you take a standard clove like this and a knife like this. You cut the clove in half.
They can't really. Yeah.
You pair it like that so it has a sharp end.
Okay, I'm gonna like actually put it on the turkey.
And then you just take it and jab it right in there like this. And then you take and slide the sharp end down the knife. Pushing it right in next to the blade, and then pull the blade out.
Maybe I should
We're good. I
have
think.
them show them that again.
I'm doing it for the second one now.
Okay, but let me move the camera or something so they can see the angle.
Okay, and then if you want to open it up, you just pull it over like that, and then push it right in there like that with your finger. Right down, all the way in, and then push down, and then pull the knife out.
So the garlic is in the meat.
Right.
It's injected into the muscle.
Right, the garlic goes right into the meat of itself, and then it sits there and cooks, and it's a fantastic flavor additive, flavor enhancement. So you can go all the way down and push it right in. You can do it here in the fleshy portion of the meat too, right in there. A lot of you really did a great job with these garlics, Sarah. And this is from the garden. Right in there. And one up here. Okay, now I've got a few more for the sides. We're going to go into the leg meat. Right there, like that. And we'll put it right into the thigh meat too by angling it right in there. See, that's a very tight area. Okay, and then rotate it. Do the same with this side. And I'm going to save the big head for the, sometimes you can just stuff it in there. I'm going to save the big head for inside the turkey. Fresh garlic for inside the turkey when we cook the stuffing. I'll put one piece of it in there. Right down the side. Okay, great. And any loose pieces can go inside the middle. Now I'm going to take this plastic thing off, Sarah.
Okay.
It comes with the turkey, but it's really of no value, and I don't really like to cook plastic, so I broke it out. I'll throw that in the garbage. Rinse off, and we're good. All right. Got a roaring boil going on that broth over here, so you can see that. Right here, it's roaring boil. You can pretty much almost cover it up, but give it a little bit of a broth. Otherwise, it'll blow or literally blow up. And you can use another bigger pan for that. This is ready for a spin. So I'm gonna take a spatula, wooden spatula, and give the this guy a little spin with the sausages in it. The sausages, crush the sausages with the spatula,
as you press it in there. Make sure the sausages get done. Everything's all we're achieving here is the glazing and the shopping of the sausages. Everything's cooked. You can turn your back burner off. Front burner stays on level 6. The onions and the celery are sauteed, ready for everything that we're going to be using them for the stuffing. That's ready to go. All we're now waiting for is the broth, and I'm going to cut the parsley. YouTube is monetizing Christmas. They're making money on Christmas songs. Whenever you sing them, they monetize. I wonder who gets the money from all the monetizing of everything. I really wonder if YouTube is handing them the money. Whenever somebody's got a song playing, I'm wondering if they're getting any money from that. Okay, I'm going to do the unique cut here of parsley. Is done similarly to anything else we've ever done, which is you take and bunch it up in your hand really tight, like I did other stuff. You concentrate the parsley into one area, compressing it down with your fingers, and just cut it, slice it like that. That keeps those crinkles nice and tight, and they spread out into the entire dish of stuffing. And as you can see, I'm a big stuffing fan. It's been a big thing in my life, stuffing. Everybody always ate all the stuffing in our family, and we always wanted more. Okay. And making sure that you get every little piece. I mean, I'm ambidextrous, but I prefer cutting on my left side. When I was a kid, I broke my arm, my left arm, which is my writing arm, and I had to learn how to write with my right arm.
So what age were you?
Huh?
What age were you?
I was only about 7 years old, and I started my writing with my right and my left, so I can write with my right, but it's a little uncomfortable. But yeah, you have to retrain your brain when that happens. Anyway, and you can come in there with a little extra if you want to kind of crunch it up. That's perfect, and that's all set to go into the stuffing. So I'm going to go ahead and just dump it in there. Now, isn't that beautiful? Yeah. And we've got walnuts we've got to crush.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do some of that in a bag. I'm going to show people how to do that.
You need a bag.
I got it. I use cereal bags. You just put your walnuts in the cereal bag. And I don't think I need all these. These have been washed already.
Yeah, the walnuts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's not going to need all of them, but about a cup of walnuts. There we go. And this is going in our apple walnut stuffing with the sausages. Now, let me turn this camera around. There she is. Okay. All right, we got the mallet over here. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to mallet these walnuts. Standard cereal bag will work on a hard surface. We'll just go like this. Okay, crushed walnuts, and they go right into the container right here. Ta-da. Oh, that's beautiful. All right. And Sarah's putting more apples in. Beautiful, thank you. Okay. I'm good. I'm going to turn the broth down to nothing. I'm going to stop the broth. Just let it sit. I'll be cooking the turkey a little bit later. And then, of course, you can throw this bag out. You don't need that. But that's a second use of a perfectly good cereal bag that you can always, make use of in the future. So I'm going to throw a little garlic in this stuffing, so I'm just going to cut it up. Yeah, like a couple cloves of garlic would be good. Just kind of added flavor in there. And Sarah, you're doing great with that peeler. That really did save you a lot of hassles. Or did it? Not really. Some hassles. It's a cleanup operation otherwise. Okay, this turkey is getting close. I'm going to pull the turkey over here. Yeah, we're pretty close to the midday, noon. We're putting the turkey in, so we eat around 5. While you guys are watching the 4 o'clock, 4:30, you guys are watching this show. We're eating this dinner. It's an amazing dinner. And we figured out this is the only way to do it without having to interrupt our life more than we do normally. All right. So that's about 1.5 cups of water. I'm going to take and add some eggs to the stuffing.
Okay, I'll help you with that.
Yeah, I got it. Luckily, not too bad.
Okay.
It's my hummus. Just covered up. We're good. You don't have to put it down there. Oh, we got it. Oh, the foot camera. My mistake.
All right. I'm wearing slippers.
Somebody saw my feet, Sarah.
I didn't do that.
It was my fault. Somebody saw my feet. Whoa. Okay, you people are.
At least they didn't see my feet.
I know.
Slippers.
Yeah, I'm just going barefoot.
He said there's feet people out there.
There
I
are.
said, well, I'll just wear slippers.
I'm doing 3 eggs for this stuffing. So
Okay, I did is this enough apples? Or
Yeah.
do you want more?
I'm gonna do 4 eggs because I'm looking at the volume of stuffing.
Okay, I guess that's enough.
That's enough apples. You're good. Okay, so first order of business is I'm gonna knock the eggs in here. I just put them right on top. No special, don't worry about cracking them or anything or whipping them. You can do that in the mix. Just don't put any shells in there. Otherwise people will say, David, I'm eating shells. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to add the sausages and onions. They're pre-cooked. Go right in there like that. last bit. And now I want to take the broth and go right down on top of the broth. Pour it all in there.
Wow, look at that.
And then leave your turkey sitting on the stove in the hot water, and they're going to add more water to that later for gravy. So we got the first broth came right out of and then I mix everything up, kind of crushing as you go. I use a wooden spatula. Okay, we're done. We're ready to go ahead and put it into the stuff the turkey first. And then we'll have a breakaway bottle or container to put the stuffing in. Any extra we'll put in a glass container and cook next to the turkey. All right. So bringing this over here, I'm going to start putting the turkey stuffing in.
Do you want me to move something? Like maybe I can move this over here so you can put that.
Yeah, that'd be good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and spoon it in there. This is a big turkey, so there's a lot of room in here.
Do you want to put garlic inside first?
Well, I did a little garlic in there. If you want, let's get a spoon of garlic from the refrigerator. And I will put a nice healthy spoon of garlic in this mix. I got that. It's like a really hard thing. Okay, so I'm just going to take a spoon of garlic and put it into the stuffing itself.
I'll take this away to make sure. Oh, and the stuffing itself? Right?
No, I mean inside the cavity. Really big, huge spoon. Because I know the garlic smell permeates throughout the whole thing. And we'll add the stuffing now. If some people are sensitive to garlic, you could put a separate container of stuffing together with no garlic in it. You could have your no garlic container on the side. So that's something that, some people have an aversion to garlic. I happen to love it, so.
Yes, he does.
Just shuffle it in on top of the garlic so the garlic emanates throughout the whole inside.
I like garlic as long as it's cooked.
Yeah.
I don't like raw garlic.
Well, the nice thing about this is it's going to be cooking at 300 degrees for 4 hours. So. Okay. They say to leave it a little loose. I'd never found that to be true, but not too tight at the top. Just have a little room to steam. And I'm going to get the skewers from our original skewer collection from 1962, I think. There they are. And last time Sarah did this crossover thing that worked great.
I could do that.
Well, there's not a lot of skin today on this one.
There was underneath. You have to pull it from this part.
No,
There was. So that's weird.
it's not there.
Maybe I pulled it off and put
It's
it
up
away.
here is what it is.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, so you go through there like that. And then you anchor it to the side and then give it a spin. And then jab it like that. And then you go through another side like this. Sometimes you have to go through twice to get a good kit. And then take it and grab whatever you got on the other side. In this particular case, all I have is that little piece from the other one. So it's going to be a tight fit. But there we go. I knitted it as tight as I can get in there. And then we have another side to fill right here. And since we're going to go breast down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dust this with a little bit of sage. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Italian seasoning too, cover the top.
And you want some garlic on it too?
No garlic needed. Most people don't eat the skin. I'm just going to use a little basil. That's some fresh basil.
I like the skin. Don't tell David.
Oh, Sarah loves the skin. I'm sorry. Most people don't eat the skin except for Sarah. Okay, then I'm going to flip this over. And I'm going to cook breast side down initially. And that's going to make this area open so I can just drop the stuffing in there. Could you get a glass bowl from the other side, from underneath the center?
No, I have it right here.
Oh, perfect.
I just have to spray it some more.
Okay, here's some oil.
Let me get this just one more.
Okay.
I should just use this one that I have in the oven.
Well, the glass one is the best.
Here's the last one.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, no problem. Whoa, it's falling out on me. I gotta use my hand. Sometimes your hand works better than anything. That's pretty funny. So Shev's gonna spray the bottom of the glass bowl.
And the sides.
Yeah. Bottom and the sides. I'm stuffing the rest of this in here until we have just enough for the glass bowl and this flap. Wow.
I think you're good.
I think yeah. For some reason, this is giving me a hassle. I think it's because of my thumb.
You want me to help?
No, I got it. I've got this thumb issue that I've been working with for some time. And I have a little
Here,
Band-Aid.
let me. It's pretty good.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Oh, we don't have any more of these, right?
Yeah, I do. I'll get you another one. Wow.
I don't think you do.
I do have one in the drawer. I do have one right here. Yep, I know where it is. There it is. Okay. Cool. Right on.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay, that's ready.
And then take a look at that sage and put the rest of that sage on top of it. And I'm going to dust it with a little bit of Italian seasoning. So, a little bit of Italian seasoning over the top. Now, what some people do if they really like skin, and I know you really like skin now, is I salt the exterior.
You don't have to salt it. I don't
Okay.
I don't need it salted.
Okay, well, what I'm going to do is at least spray
you
a
can.
little oil.
Yes.
We're going to put a little oil over it. Just so it doesn't get too dry. All right.
My
and then,
goodness, that's a perfect turkey. That's bigger than Thanksgiving.
yeah, this is the biggest turkey we've had in a while. Okay, I'll get the top from over here. And now we might as well just put it in the oven.
Okay.
I'll just set it loosely on top.
You're good.
I'll set it right in there like that.
Hey,
Nice. Okay,
amazing.
we'll get started. Thank you.
And you can leave it there.
That's
I'm
good.
gonna go down here.
I got this. All right.
Now I'm going to.
And she's going to put the rest of the stuffing in there. That's perfect. And that's great sausage stuffing. Look at that. We'll squish it all in there, and the apples melt down in it, and the sausage really makes it flavorsome. And then
Last time I think it dried out because I think I didn't cover it with tin foil.
right, we'll add tin foil to it for sure.
I have a piece over there.
Okay. There we go. We use some reused tin foil, so we're using this for a second time. And just press it on in there nice and tight, and you're good to go. The moisture from the chicken or the turkey broth really,
Apples.
and the apples really imbue a taste that is kind of amazing. Yeah, I'm not going to make my oyster stuffing this year, but that was a nice thought. I didn't have fresh oysters. I had canned oysters, and I thought, it's not going to be the same.
But I have got some more cooking to do.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
could do
Another now.
we could do another.
Well, I want to make it with fresh oysters next time I make it.
Okay. Do we need to put this in now or?
Nope, that can go in about 2 hours into the cooking cycle. It doesn't have to be cooked toward the front and more the back end of the dinner.
All right.
Now, as far as the broth is concerned, I'm going to fill this up again with water. And I'm going to, you can just fix the camera on the stove here a little bit. So,
Okay, just one moment. It is kind of on the stove already.
okay, I'm just going to go ahead and pour fresh filtered water in here.
1 3/4 full.
I'm going to say half full, and then get it up to a level 6 again and keep cooking it. Because that water is going to be the gravy. That's going to be the gravy. And we're going to make a fresh gravy out of that.
You gotta let it reduce now.
Yeah, it has to cook heavily. And what I usually do at this point is I flip it over. I flip it over like that, see?
Just flipping over the neck bone.
Yeah, so it cooks on the other side to a full boil, and then you'll be able to pull the meat right off, and you'll be able to use that broth for your gravy. Thank you very much.
Okay, awesome. Now comes the other side dishes and the and then the pies, and then we'll call it a. So we've got a little ways to go.
Yeah.
So now we've got the green bean casserole. We won't put this in the oven till later, but I'm going to prep it right now anyway. So we've got French style green beans with onions, red pepper, and garlic, and organic cream of mushroom soup. I also have the broccoli cheese soup. A little bit more of this leftover Brooklyn broccoli cheese soup. Oops, upside down. There we go. And I'm going to put all of that together. That's going to make my green bean casserole. I might not do that right now. I might do that later. Also, I'm going to do sweet potatoes. So I'll peel these sweet potatoes. Or, yeah, sweet potato. And I do sweet potato, pineapple, apricots, and pecans. Pecans and apricots. And maybe a little bit of brown sugar. And that will be my sweet potato dish. Again, I'll do that later. I'm gonna then got that ready though to go. Okay, and then the other dishes I'm just gonna make. I'm gonna make 2 pies. Set the 2 pies in here while we're ready to make bake. Down that I do. Okay. So I'm gonna make 2 pies. One is gonna be a pecan pie, and one is gonna be a pumpkin pie. So pumpkin pie, I've got pumpkin, organic pumpkin, yum. And I'll get the spices and everything we need. And it calls for evaporated milk, but I think I'm gonna do something different. I think I'm gonna do some coconut milk in that, but with those, I need to grab my recipe.
Okay, it is Christmas.
The other dishes I was going to make was green bean casserole, which I have,
Green bean casserole, good.
and
I have everything I need for it, but I haven't.
Do you want me to peel the sweet potatoes?
Yeah, you can peel sweet potatoes. I was gonna make sweet potato.
Okay.
Let's rinse off this cutting board. Do you need this? Or no?
Yeah, bring it over here and just rinse it off.
Get a video of that. People love to look at water.
It's good to just clean everything as you go.
Yeah.
You need to clean. Okay.
You want to rinse that out? Just put the sprayer on and rinse the whole thing.
Yeah, I will. Here.
And I'll take that out of here.
Okay. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna put that down. Okay. Alright. We'll see. What would you like to see? You'd like to see the boiling away of the... I don't know if you can see that. It's boiling away. The stock is, which is good. Reducing down slowly. Alright. And there we go. Alright. If you want to peel these, you can. Either way.
Yeah, I'll peel them for you. I don't mind. Where do you want me to peel them?
Let me get a container for them. But you can peel them on the cutting board. Kind of cube them.
Okay, sure.
And then they need to go in and knock that, but like a cooking.
Yeah, cooking container. Okay.
Like this.
Right on.
Here. Peeled in
Do
cubes.
you have the peeler?
Yes, I do. Here you go.
All right, thank you. And I'll put them in there cubed. Okay, I get to peel while you guys get to look at me.
Okay, and I am going to pull up something on the phone. And then after you peel those, you could take the pecans and like crush them up.
Yes, I'll do the same thing with the pecans. How many do you need?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Yeah.
Well, there's some for whatever you think is needed for this dish, plus the amount needed for pecan pie, which I'm gonna.
Okay, I'd say half that bag would be probably adequate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, it's amazing how like it's already noon.
Isn't it amazing how fast time goes when you're cooking?
Yeah,
It's amazing.
so much time.
Yep. Did you see my white knife?
Your white knife.
No, cut her one.
Yeah. Okay. It probably just. I'll get to that later. I have another knife. I'm good. Okay, so.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, thank you. Great.
Let me
We'll
just
use
put
it.
down.
Perfect. Thanks.
Ha, no.
You getting messages from someone?
No, pecan pie without corn syrup.
Oh, good. And you have the ingredients?
Yeah, I'm going to get them right now.
Wow. So you'll be coming back to the store a little later? Just kidding.
No, I mean, I have
You
the
have them?
ingredients.
Really?
I'm just saying,
I'm
never
amazed.
mind.
No, I'm glad.
I meant that I had the ingredients, but I was pulling up the recipe because I looked at the recipe.
No, I was just making a joke.
Okay, never mind.
It was not really a very good joke, so.
Obviously, no.
Yeah,
No, I guess I take things too seriously.
I guess so. All right, here we go.
Okay.
This way we don't have to read chat, because that's always a problem, you know. People, like...
Really, you feeling like you have to respond to it.
Yeah, it's like... That's the problem with cooking shows. You read chat in the cooking show, it changes the dimension of the cooking show, I think. You're no longer doing cooking, you're reading chat.
Yeah.
These sweet potatoes are right at the edge. I saved them out of the bag. If you keep them in a bag in a dark place, they start to rot. They're best kept in the sunshine, sweet potatoes. I was quite amazed because I had them in a bag in a dark place. Like, we lost a couple pieces of one, and I salvaged all these because, as you can see, they're definitely on their way out.
Yeah.
They got a lot of texture. Yeah, my thumb, I had this terrible burn this past month, and the nail is just hanging on, and I'm letting the other nail grow underneath it. It's like, so I put a little piece of Band-Aid on it. It's like stitches it together, which is enough to hold it. But it's like, no, I'm not going to take the other nail off until the other one's growing underneath. So, pretty bad when you have a burn like I had. And I don't even recall really any pain whatsoever, so I'm beginning to wonder. I mean, I think I touched a plate in a toaster oven. That's how it all happened. It's best to wet the surface a little bit whenever you start peeling. Just so I wet this, but give it a little water on it. Otherwise, if you're doing a dry peel, it doesn't work as well.
Oh, okay.
That's a little secret.
That's good to know. All right.
Yeah.
We've got regular sugar out, I guess.
I've got a bin of regular sugar right over here.
Oh, I found a can of mandarin oranges if I want to add that to our...
Oh yeah, the fruit salad does call for mandarin oranges.
Oh, I forgot to do that earlier.
You could pop it open and rinse it out, because I think that is an older can.
Yeah, it is.
Good.
Make sure it smells okay. I wouldn't want to put a beautiful fruit salad together with an old can of mandarin oranges. And yeah, see? Just cut off any blemishes that it might have. Yeah, that's a ticket. La 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 la.
Alright, I've got my syrup sugars.
That wasn't so bad once you get used to it.
I think I clicked on something wrong.
Okay, I'm going to put this in the compost heap. And I think I'm about ready to dump compost. Yeah. I've reached the compost fill point here.
Okay, 1 1/4 cup chopped pecans
Okay.
is what I need.
Okay, let me just get these things severed and ready for steaming. And wash my hands.
Well, that's a big compost.
Oh, that's ready to go out. All right. Rinsing my hands off. There we go. Okay, you want them cubed?
Yeah, I could do that.
Well, I don't mind. I'm doing them.
Okay.
Is that good?
No.
And then this?
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. That's perfect.
Right.
Awesome. Those are a little harder to cut than
Well, you want to get them in the steam right away because otherwise they'll brown out on you.
Oh, here's what I do instead of steaming them. I can, because I'll cook them later.
Get 'em
But
blanched.
to keep them,
Put put something on them.
I am going to. Here it comes.
Put them in there, hang on.
Pour pineapple juice all over them.
Oh, great idea. Yeah, pineapple juice it is. Perfect. Oh, that's going to be great. That melts them down. A little blemish on this one I'm taking off.
Okay, good.
There we go. Put that in the compost. And then I'm just going to finish up here.
Okay, that looks great. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, finis. Done, done, done. I'm going to take that out.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm going to pour the rest of this pineapple juice on top. That'll keep them from browning out.
Yeah.
And not only the pineapple juice, but about a bunch of pineapple. That's probably good. I'll put the rest of the pineapple in that fruit cocktail mixture I had earlier. And then I'm also going to top it off with apricots. These are, I should probably rinse these off. Let's see. And I should probably dice them too.
I will do the pecans if you want. I'll crush those.
Okay.
Yeah, I always save these bags specifically for that purpose.
Okay, and then I'm going to slice these apricots.
Yeah. I'm going to turn the water off now on the turkey. It's fully cooked. And I'm just going to let that sit in its own water. And then we'll have great broth for gravy. It'll be great. You tell me how many you want crushed.
1.5 quarter cups, and then a little bit more for that's good.
I'll give you this. Get my trusty mallet. Let's get crushing. Try not to hit your hands, otherwise it'll hurt. Oh, man, that's good. I think that's adequate. What do you think?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, I'll let you handle that.
All right, now I'm going to slice up these apricots. These are just some dried apricots, and I like to put these in my yam dish. And when you slice them, it gets the pineapple juice to go cook into them. And they just fluff out when you cook them. They're so good. You could, of course, eat them plain, but you could have probably put them in a fruit cake, I guess. But I'm not making any fruit cake. No fruit cake. I do not like the candied fruit that they make in fruit cake. That is not, I do not like that. Alright. I'll put this pineapple, apricot on top of the candied yams. Actually, I should probably put that down before the pineapple, but it'll be fine. I'll toss it all, like mix it up while I'm cooking it. Very good. Alright, yummy, delicious. We have a lid for this. So that's ready to cook as well. But that'll go in like an hour before the turkey's done. So what, oh, and I'll add the pecans, but before I add the pecans, I'm gonna measure out the pecans I need for my pecan pie. And one thing that is called for in a pecan pie is a lot of butter. Pecan pie, it's so, all the things that aren't good for you goes in pecan pie. But it's so yummy, right? I think so. It's like one of my favorite things for Christmas is pecan pie. So first we're gonna do a whole stick of butter. So glad David left the room, so he doesn't have to look at this. He'll say, can't you use something different? But then when he eats it, he'll be like, oh, this is so delicious. All right, that's gonna need to be melted, so I'm gonna throw that in the microwave. I'm gonna turn it down to like low though, the temperature. I don't know, I think, yeah, everything should be able to fit in here for the pecan pie, so that's good. I need my measuring cup that I had earlier. Oh, there it is. So I need 1.5 cups of pecans, or 1.25 cups, I think it says. 1.25 cup of pecans. There's 1 cup. That's about 1/4 cup. That's a little more than 1/4 cup. And the rest of these pecans that David chopped up, well, these are pecan pie. And the rest of these are going to go in this candy yam dish. Yum, yum. Alright. Let's just. Alright, the next thing in the pecan pie is some vanilla extract. I've never bought the pure vanilla extract. I've always done the imitation. I guess I'm a little cheapy. Well, I did look at, like, they had vanilla extract the other day at the store we were in. It was like $32 for a container. I wasn't that, it just seems too much money for me. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 tablespoon of milk. Got my measuring spoons. Everything just goes into the same container, so I'm kind of going backwards on the recipe. So there we go. Vanilla extract, milk, a tablespoon of milk, alright, that's good. Oops. And then 1.5 tablespoons of flour. Flour in here. 1.5 tablespoons, okay? I'll just go for a heaping tablespoon. That's about 1.5. Okay. And 2 eggs, some milk, butter.
2 eggs.
Yeah, 2 eggs.
And you need melted butter too?
I got butter.
Oh, good. Okay. I'll put the 2 eggs right here for you.
Okay, thank you. Quarter cup white sugar and 1 cup of brown sugar. Thank you. Yeah,
That's the one. That's number 10 is the one.
number 10. Gotta skip it. Even if you're not stressed out, it seems to like stress people out.
So we're running the oven at 350 today. I misstated 300.
Okay.
Warming up the house.
There we go. And then it has. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I just wanted a little more in the view here.
Okay. Do you want me to move this over?
Nope, we're good.
And then a full cup of brown sugar. I think I like baking because it's kind of like science.
Yeah. Exact
Like
amounts.
science.
Yeah, I like cooking because it's not scientific. It can be, you can have artistic flair, but in order to do it right, you have to teach people exact amounts. So, you know.
You can be a little bit off,
Yeah.
but you have to like kind of go with like the science idea. Like, not everything in science works out. Ooh, that looks so cool. I like how the brown sugar looks when it's like, it looks like it's melting into it. Wow, I'm really bright. The sun is, well, not really.
No, there's no sun. That's wishful thinking. The sun is, no, that's not happening. It's not exactly sunny.
It's not. But that's okay. It was sunny yesterday. This is white sugar.
White sugar. Oh, yes, white sugar.
What happens to white sugar when you leave it a long time? Ooh, that's too much white sugar. That's just too much white sugar. Alright, that's it. Alright, and that's it. This is going to be our mixture for pumpkin pie, pecan pie. And then I'll just double check the recipe on how long it cooks. I think it's like an hour. I think I have to heat the oven up to do 400.
You want your pies, your pre-made organic pie crust?
If you want, I can put the.
We'll wait
in
then.
there.
Okay. I can wait on that.
Okay, so that's a filling. I can show it to you, I guess.
Oh, wow. This is a pecan non-corn syrup mix.
And I probably would put a little more pecans that haven't been crushed.
On top?
Yeah, on top. I'll do that once I put it in the pie.
Okay.
Okay, so that's good for pecan pie. Yum.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm gonna do one more pie
Wow. Okay.
mixture, and then I'm done with this.
What kind of pie do you want to make?
I'm making pumpkin. I already have the pumpkin.
Oh, wonderful, yeah.
Okay, 400 whisk eggs. Oops. .400 degrees for 15 minutes. Wait. Reduce to 350 and then do another 35 minutes. So about 45, 50 minutes. Go ahead.
No, I was just filling in the void here.
You can keep going because I've got some more void coming up.
I'm just giving you Christmassy void fill.
Chris. I know, David does such a good job of filling the void.
Filling the void.
Pumpkin pie. We have just enough of these Pyrexes.
I know, we just have enough.
We have so many Pyrexes, but it's just enough for what I gotta do. Okay.
I don't get in your way.
No, I was gonna dance with you.
Oh, you're gonna dance with me.
See, I should take this off for a second. Which one's the front one?
There you go. We can move ourselves over now.
we should do this like 10 seconds of just this, and then we should have that put it in the bag for Mark Vaughn's Christmas show next year.
Oh, if he even has one, you wonder.
so funny.
This last Christmas show is so bad that people don't even want to.
Okay, moving on. All right, pecan pie. Well, okay, where's the actual recipe? All right, 3/4 cup sugar, cinnamon. I'll need cinnamon, ginger, and cloves.
Cinnamon, ginger, and cloves coming up.
And we're gonna go 3/4 cup of sugar. I think that's about 3/4 cup.
Well, that's close enough, yeah. And here is your ground cloves,
Awesome.
ground cinnamon, and
Okay.
yes,
1 teaspoon cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ginger, and 1/4 teaspoon of cloves.
let me get the ginger. It's right above the camera. Fresh ginger from Trader Joe's. Yeah. Look at that. All right, there you go. I'll let you be in charge of all the specifications. I'm going to make a little bit more
Just throw
coffee.
some cinnamon in until it looks right.
Well, that's about the last of the coffee here. Fresh.
Oh no, I did too much sugar. Cinnamon.
You can't put too much cinnamon in anything. Cinnamon's good for you.
Okay, this is gonna be a cinnamony
It'll be good.
pumpkin pie. Okay. Teaspoon. Oh, I can barely read that 1/2. Okay. Ginger. I like ginger.
Yes, ginger's a very fresh, tasty, good dish. It's a good ginger. It was a good Christmas.
Half a thing of ginger.
Sarah was making special pies.
That ginger smells so good.
I know, it's fresh.
Ugh.
Getting fresh is the way to go.
And this is not fresh, but it's close.
Yeah.
Okay, 1/4 of cloves. Close enough. Okay. That smells like Christmas. Smell that.
Let me smell Christmas. Hang on, the smell of Christmas.
That
Okay.
smells like Christmas.
Yeah, that's the smell of Christmas. She put the smell of Christmas in that Pyrex container.
Sugar, cinnamon, ginger, and cloves. That's the smell of
Exactly, the
Christmas.
smell of Christmas. I think my tomato plant needs some water. I'm gonna give it a little squirt.
Okay, sounds good.
Even my tomato plant needs a Christmas squirt.
The Christmas squirt, huh?
Yeah.
Oh. And a little bit of salt. Eggs, 2 more eggs. And if you take out that, salt.
Can't get over growing a tomato in the winter.
Got 1 little tomato on it.
One little tomato on it. That's all it's got. But it's still growing. And we cut corners too. If you have a large group of people to cook for, Heinz makes a really good home-style turkey gravy. We picked up this bottle for $1. Roasted turkey gravy, I mean, easy, no fuss, no worry about making gravy. Well, that is getting a little brighter. Yeah. You might get a little sun.
Coming down.
Yeah.
Okay. We're almost there.
Yeah. I think we're going to be starting our show at 3 o'clock today. Yeah. Recorded version.
Close enough.
Yep.
Alright.
Thank you.
And then, got my bags here. Can you open this can of pumpkin for me?
Sure.
Well, we forgot the other camera. We're having so much fun with this camera that... Okay, so I'll be opening up the can for you. There we go. And this is organic pumpkin. Yay! I picked this up for $1.50 for a can of this. Recently. Like
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Okay.
Recently, like 3 years ago. Time flies when you're hoarding food.
Oh my goodness. Oh goodness, David. Okay, pumpkin.
You know, I'm still riding on my waffles today. It's like one waffle is all it took to power me up for the rest of my life. Best waffles ever. The blinding light. We're normally not used to this much light. Let's tone this down a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Pumpkin, cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg.
There we go.
Oh, I didn't do nutmeg. Do you want nutmeg?
Yeah, we can do a little nutmeg in there.
Nutmeg's a very light amount you can use.
I like nutmeg in my pumpkin pie, but if you can overdo it, and nutmeg is a dangerous thing. You don't want to have too much of it.
I'll let you put the nutmeg in however much you want. It only calls for like half a teaspoon, but you can do a quarter teaspoon.
Well, I usually just dust it like this.
That's good.
That's probably all you need. Light dusting.
The other recipe didn't even call for nutmeg.
Yeah, you can taste it even in that amount. It can be overbearing otherwise.
Nutmeg, and I did salt already. And I think it says 14-ounce sweetened condensed milk, but instead of condensed milk, I am going to, because I know how some people are with milk, I'm going to use coconut milk.
You know, I told people to come into our show at 4. I think we'll be starting this at 3. 3 hours of cooking with David and Sarah. It's probably 4 hours of cooking, really.
Then you don't have to do a show tonight. You could just run this show. No.
Well, I kind of want to fill the show with politics because we are living in a very strange time.
It is. It's like the world is ending, it feels like.
It feels like there's a lot of things about the world that are changing rapidly. I think we're heading toward forced sustainability, where we have to sustain a different type of economy.
They're doing something totally different in the pumpkin pie. I'm putting in coconut milk.
You are, really?
Well, I was thinking about it.
Instead of regular milk? Okay.
Well, they call for sweetened condensed milk.
Is that the vanilla flavor? Or the...
This is the regular. I should probably do
Well, we have vanilla flavored sweetened.
I should probably do that.
But did you open this one already?
Yeah.
Well, make yourself an eggnog drink and have an eggnog with me.
Okay.
Pour that and eggnog together.
Okay.
Pour some in there and I'll add an eggnog. We'll have a little egg. She hasn't had her eggnog for the holidays yet. Take whatever you want and add this to it. There you go.
I'm having coconut eggnog.
Yeah.
Coconut.
You could even use coconut eggnog as your condensed milk.
I could.
That's got more sugar than anything in it. Seriously. And I'll have a cup of that too.
Oh my goodness.
I'll get it for you.
This is hard to open.
I got it.
My hands are cold.
Yeah, I'll take this.
You don't like it. Cold hands. Warm heart.
Wow, there it is. Oh yeah. Give that a mix and see what you like. We're making a completely non-dairy eggnog mix. Give yours a mix, give mine a mix. See what you think. See if you need more. That's good. This is coconut milk eggnog.
More eggnog.
Mostly coconut milk.
Here, have some more eggnog. There
I
you
think
go.
a couple of years ago I made eggnog.
Yeah.
That was really good.
This is actually not bad. A little touch of nutmeg on it. Yeah, you get the impression that you're
Yeah,
eating
light
eggnog.
impressions.
A very light impression that
That's
but it's nowhere near the calories or the exactly. Fantastic.
Okay.
Well, that's weird.
So what should I do for this? I could either do I should do what it actually calls for, huh? It calls for this sweetened condensed milk, which I have.
Well, you do have it. Even better. Get exactly what it calls for. Just wipe the top off a little bit. It's been a little dusty there. Hang on. There we go.
Then I'm gonna clean. Then we can open presents. Watch movies and all that.
Well, I think you really, when you said you wanted to make 2 pies, I was kind of like, really? On top of all the other goodies? That's a lot of stuff, a lot of prep. That is not bad. That's like a completely all-natural.
Can thinnest thing I've ever seen called a can.
Oh, really? Wow.
You can use this if you have someone that's allergic to eggs. There's a recipe for cake that calls for sweetened condensed milk.
Okay.
That's why I have it. Some recipes just call for evaporated milk. My God, this is going to be a lot. And that pie, I hope this pie crust can take it all.
Yeah, it can. Pretty sure it can.
Okay. Rinsing all these out is going to be a problem, but. Just a piece of. Anyway, alright. There we go. This is going to go in my second pie crust. Oh, looks pretty good.
It looks great. I'll get those pie crusts out of the refrigerator.
And then I don't know what I'll do with that leftover.
Here you go. I'll set them up here. Okay.
It almost, I hope this doesn't say enough for 2 pies. Pour into pie shell.
Should be good. As long as you got the egg in there, it should thicken it. Yeah, well, the sun is coming out. Look at that. First time in a while.
Oh, this one wasn't, this is gonna be super sweet. Oh no. This is gonna be like overly sugared. Because I wasn't supposed to add the sugar and
sweetened condensed milk. I was supposed to add sugar to the evaporated milk recipe. Oh. This is going to be a super sweet pie.
That's okay.
Because I wasn't supposed to add sugar to... I was mixing recipes.
Too much sugar.
So this is going to be a very sugary pie.
Okay.
Oh well. Oh well. I don't know what I'll do, but...
What about making it into a bread? Pumpkin bread.
Well... Okay.
I don't know. It's just one way to stretch it out. Add flour and make it into a bread.
I'll let you do that after. Here, I'll fill up one pie shell and then I'll let you do that.
Great. I can't wait. That's what I wanted to do.
Oh my god, why did I say that? I know, why did
I really wanted to make a pumpkin bread today.
No, you did not.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I don't need to have a Christmas. I can just make pumpkin bread today.
We're done.
Oh.
Bye, everybody.
What about the bean dish? That's coming.
I know, I already told them what goes in it.
No, they actually have to make it.
Where's the casserole dish? I'll make the bean dish. Oh, yeah. Okay, tell you what. Let's focus on the pumpkin pie.
Well, I already got it ready to go.
Okay,
So
Sarah's going to do the pumpkin pie. She already did the ambrosia salad, but we're going to add mandarins to those later.
Okay, I've got the pumpkin pie recipe ready to go. Done. I've got the pecan pie recipe ready to go. Done. I think that there's going to be more pumpkin than pecan, but we'll figure that out.
So all we have to do is pour them into the shells, basically.
Yeah,
Okay. You want to do that
I'll
later?
show those shells.
We'll show you the shells. We got the pumpkin mix.
Hang on, let's get this thing done properly. Here we go. These are organic, traditional pie shells.
Wouldn't you hate to watch me like make pie crust right now? Yes, I would. So
We didn't want to add that to the list. I said, Sarah, let's get some pre-made pie shells. We found organic, so that's good.
Yeah. Okay, so this is ready. The pies are ready to do.
So all they have to do is fill
All I
them
have
up.
to do is pour them in, and then cook them for an hour.
Right.
The last hour of the turkey's cooking.
Right.
So I don't need to work on that right now. I can just put those away.
We're good.
So then,
So the bean dish is all we really have
that's
left. The mushroom bean dish. And
I
I
already
know,
have everything out for it.
I think we're all going to learn the next step here.
I'm going to let you lead on this one because you're
Oh, can you just open the cans of beans?
absolutely.
Yeah, I can do that. They're flip tops. I'll get them.
Super easy.
Super easy.
I wonder if these will fit in here.
The best part of the flip top is technology. Is
You don't have to get a can opener. You just
Okay.
open that flip top, pull the tab. Boom, you're done.
Okay, let me get your container to put it.
And you know, these things come with a certain amount of salt in them. So
So if you have salt sensitivity in your family, you can actually rinse these out a little bit. These are pretty high in salt.
And you probably should, even if you don't have salt sensitivity in your family, on Christmas, because everything else has salt in it.
right, everything else has salt in it. So what I do is I take it and I just drop the juice out of it like that. And I put filtered water in to replace the water and let them soak a little bit. Shake them around and then drop it right out. Drain it. That reduces your salt intake. And you know, we found out this week that the number one time of year that people end up dying is at
Right.
10 o'clock on Christmas Eve.
At least have heart attacks.
Yeah, it's like, I think the salt that they ate from Christmas Eve's dinner could cause a heart attack, you
And
know?
the stress of like, I don't have a tree.
Yeah, right. Or my family's gone and they're away from me on holidays and I'm so stressed and bummed out.
Trying to follow you. There we go.
That's okay. I'm just draining this stuff out.
You
Apple
And give him
Walnut.
one rinse, that's all. Okay, these are ready to go in the can. We get every last drop out of there so they're not too wet. And we have this wonderful, amazing, rich and creamy Pacific organic cream of mushroom condensed soup. And no, there's no unnatural things. There's no MSG or anything in it. We found out this year that Campbell's mushroom soup has MSG in it. And Howie raised a stink about it in our show.
Thanks, Howie.
Thanks, Howie. Because we really are, we need to be informed of this. Oh, no, not the foot cam. No, anything but the foot cam. There's so many people out there that are, they probably took photos of this earlier, the earlier scenes where my feet were in the
so
scene.
funny. There is somebody who like has the pictures of my feet when you had that thing you were showing off, the foot, that soaker thing.
The soaker thing, they were looking at that? Oh.
Yes, they like grabbed a picture of that.
Oh, I'm so sorry that happened. That was my mistake.
And I think I'd rather show my feet than to show that gross water with my feet in it.
I know. But it was showing how gross the water was. That's the whole purpose of the picture. It kind of defeats the purpose.
My feet in gross water. Why would somebody want a picture of that?
I don't really know. I was demonstrating how great the system worked. So we're putting two different kinds down. One have peppers in it. Put peppers at the bottom, and the other has regular. And this is made by Del Monte. Let me show the can to people when they're done. When you're done.
I know.
Non-GMO, folks. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Non-GMO product made by Del Monte. They're not genetically modified. We look for that now. We try to, focus on wholesome heirloom food products. That's what I'm hoping for all of you. I don't want to feed any of you bad products, and I think the government has to start thinking about changing the way we grow food. Getting back to the old-fashioned way will be more appealing to our trading neighbors around the world. I know that Vladimir Putin has made a commitment to not genetically modified food in Russia, and I think that's a big step. We certainly need to follow the same pattern in our country. All right, I'm gonna get the mushrooms out.
Oh yes.
You pre-cook the mushrooms?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Now I'm confused.
I know.
I should put the mushrooms in. I don't think you pre-cook them.
You have to pre-cook the mushrooms, or you get cooked mushrooms. So what I'm going to do is decide what kind of slices do you want on the mushrooms.
Should I put both in, or
Yes, both go in.
and then the mushrooms?
Yeah.
Then
we douse it with the dressing. So we'll go with sliced mushrooms.
I thought I did like layers.
Well, you may need two containers then.
Mushrooms, beans, but
If you want to throw some of the cooked mushrooms into the mix, you can. I'm just going to cook 4 mushrooms.
Maybe 5.
5 mushrooms. 5 large mushrooms.
Do you want me to slice them first?
Yeah, if you want to rinse them and slice them, let's do that. Always rinse your food off. You never know. Mushrooms are grown in a chicken fertilizer. That's how they grow mushrooms, in chicken fertilizer. So it's not like you want to not rinse your mushrooms off. Otherwise, you'll be eating chicken poop. And that wouldn't be very good.
No.
What did you have for Christmas? Oh, chicken poop.
You know, mushrooms?
Mushrooms, chicken poop. We had a wonderful dish of chicken poop.
And see, I like to rinse my board again.
Okay, well, let's take and rinse the board again.
I know.
I'll take it right now.
I don't know what's been on it.
Those go in the can. That's where you put them.
I know.
Right in the can. All right. Okay, your clean antiseptic rinse board is ready to go. Sarah's got a thing about a clean board.
I'm one
Completely
of those
clean.
chefs.
Yes, she's a neat freak, clean freak. You're not a freak at all. I'm the neat freak. What am I saying?
I know.
I'm the guy who's.
You're not like.
I'm always
that,
like super clean.
like me.
All right, let me go ahead and
I'm
chop
surprised
these
I'm
for
the
you.
one saying that because normally you're like always.
I know. I think maybe you've been cooking around it too much. Now I'm going to rinse that knife off because we don't want to. So what I do with mushrooms, it makes it really easy. You just lay them flat like that. Bisect them. It's a super easy slicing process. Lay them out there on the gridiron and just kind of go like this. Okay, we're good there. And I'm going to pour the, this is the time I'm going to put the turkey neck in here, like that. And I'm basically going to transfer the broth for the gravy into that dish right here. And that's perfectly usable. And it's still hot, so we'll go ahead and put the mushrooms in there. You don't even need to throw oil on that, just ready to go. We'll take the mushrooms and throw it right in that pan. Turn the flame up to level 6. And give it a little oil on the top.
Do you want onions too?
Wait a second, I think they may have seen my feet. Oh, there.
Sorry. Wait, it's this.
It's my fault. The foot camera, it may have caught a toe. Okay, I put a little oil on that.
He does have really cute feet, I have to say.
Thank you, you're so very kind. Okay, let that cook up. We're gonna fry those up real fast on level 6.
Well, all the parts of your body are beautiful.
Oh, you're so kind. What about onions?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
You have those onion
did
rings,
I ask
right?
him that? Yeah, I do have onion rings.
Okay, so I think
But-
the green casserole may very well all fit in there. So I think we're good. I think we're just gonna fit the green casserole. So we should be good. And you've got your onion rings down here, right?
Yeah, you want me to pull them out?
I see a package down there. Here it is. Just stuff for the dinner. We're good.
That
Somebody
part goes
likes
on
those.
top, right?
Yes, those go on top. Now you,
But should I do onions inside with the
yeah, you know, I definitely think that's in order. It would only
Definitely.
enhance the flavor. And I've got these wonderful sweet onions here. All right, I'm gonna crack open a sweet onion. Let me dice this puppy up and get right into the mushrooms. Now you can take a whole onion like this, solid, and just kind of put a little cut in it, and then take your hand and pound down on that with. That's why I love this knife so much. And then slice the bottom just a little bit, and grab the hull, and then pull back like that from the skin.
You do that from the top too.
It's not as easy.
Okay. When you do it from the bottom, I would think that it would create tears more.
Well, actually, the bottom has most of the tears in it, so maybe if it's a problem for you, and you have lots of time, which is something you can do, and you want to talk about it for a half an hour, that'd be great. You know, I'd peel each slice and talk about each onion layer. Meanwhile, I'm going to get this in the pan because it's cooking at level 6, and I just don't want the toe camera in the picture. Uh-oh. We had an onion drop down by the toe camera. For all of you who are watching the toe camera.
I turned it off. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm going to throw this right on top of the mushrooms.
I have my special toe camera that
Okay.
only I get to look at.
I'll toe the line if you toe the co-camera. Okay, I did rinse this piece of onion that fell on the ground off, and I'm going to put it in the dish. I rinsed it completely off. Spare no expense. Everything goes in there. Start moving that the dish around. So I'm going to just take a little spatula and just kind of move it around. What I like to do is throw a little bit of the you know, the juice in there,
That's good.
and just kind of make it a full rounded meal. It won't take more than about 5 minutes of cooking on the stove for these onions to glaze at level 6. So let's just keep that
We should
shut.
probably put this in here too, huh?
Yeah, you can mix that in there with it once it's glazed. You can't put it in ahead of time though.
Okay.
First, you get the glazing done on the onions and the mushrooms. Takes about 5 minutes.
And you need equal parts milk or water.
Equal parts milk or water. Okay. I think we'll go with
Water.
water. Yeah. Lower our calories a little bit.
Because this is going to be at least a 2,000 calorie meal for sure. All right.
I think that's about it.
Not quite.
Oh, I know, you're going to show them how you make your gravy, huh?
No, I'm not going to do the gravy part, but I am.
We're going to make this entire bean dish and pretty much ready the thing for all of you to look at. And then everything will come out of the oven today and we'll have an incredible meal.
Yum.
Okay, ooh. Touch the compost heap. Rinse your hands off. She touched it. Ooh. And you want to empty this mandarin orange out, right?
What the hell was that?
Somebody's new truck that they got for Christmas.
I think it was their new chopper, their motorcycle. We got a bunch of Harley drivers in this area that love their bike. And they like the mufflers that are the worst mufflers they can get. They like those. That's like that's a plus for them. Smells like mandarin oranges. You know, these are some of the best things to keep in the cupboard for longevity. You can get them for as low as 50 cents a can. And mandarin oranges stay like no other, you know.
Okay, I'll get out the...
Avoid scurvy like nothing. I mean, mandarin oranges will prevent scurvy if you have no vitamin C in the event of the coming apocalypse. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. When are we having our apocalypse? Is it this year or next? We're not sure. Ask Donald Trump.
Okay, I'm going to turn that flame off. That's all done, ready to go.
Okay, I'm going to put in the mandarin oranges and the pineapple.
Okay, I rinsed them. I'll give you a spoon. There you go. Sarah is making the ultimate fruit ambrosia salad for our dinner, and we've never done this. This is kind of a new thing. Instead of cranberry juice.
I grew up with.
Oh, you did? Really? Wow.
I would always have ambrosia for Christmas.
Well, it's better than the cranberry, is my opinion.
I think so too.
Yeah, cranberries are just a little too much acid, and you know when you're eating a big meal,
You don't want to top it off with too much acid.
Well, this is a lot of acid.
That's a lot of acid. Somebody said, "Are you doing any acid for Thanksgiving or
Just
for
ambrosia
Christmas?"
salad.
Just a lot of acidic ambrosia salad. Yeah, I don't do acid. I can't imagine anyone taking something so artificial. Yeah, some of you people are experimenting with drugs. Stop.
Stop.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
In fact, there's marijuana. That's legal states allow marijuana, and it's not physically addicting. You know, don't even think about taking powder or drugs, or just say no to everything except pot. And Sarah has never smoked pot, and she said she's never going to. So
No.
seriously, people. I mean, I'm just trying to give you some tips in life. You
It's
know.
gonna be my lunch.
Oh, that'll be your lunch. Oh gosh, that looks
Not
really
all of
good.
it, obviously, but just
That would be nice to have a little bit. Incredible. She used the whipped cream for that. Okay, let's finish things up. We're almost set
I
to.
think that looks good for the mushroom.
Yeah, we're gonna make your mushroom dish, and then we're gonna close down here, and then we're gonna upload the video. All right. Here we go.
Got my ambrosia.
Okay, can I put the cheese soup in here,
Uh-huh.
or should I just save the cheese soup? Because I think we have enough with the other.
I think we should do both.
It's just a lot of,
Really?
yeah, it's like almost too much. I'll have the cheese soup. Well, you'll have that as tomorrow's treat.
Okay.
I don't think we need it. Pull those olives out too. I want to have those. Okay. Just serve black olives with the dinner too.
That's David's family thing.
Yeah, we used to serve black olives in a
We
little
do
bowl.
ambrosia, you do black olives. I don't know, maybe they did do. Actually, my family would eat black olives. I just wouldn't.
You just didn't like black olives when you were a kid. Okay, we're bringing the bean dish into the front forward into the sphere of influence. I'm gonna let you handle it from
Maybe I
there.
need to put the mushroom soup in here.
Put that in there right now. No, I mean we're just gonna put the mushrooms in right
No,
now.
what about the mushroom soup?
Yeah, you can put that in.
Just gonna cook this in here for a second.
You want a scissors?
Folded terracotta.
Just do it over the dish in case it opens. There you go. That'll do it. Oops. Nothing like label in the dinner. We serve the dinner with labels. All right, so she's putting the mushroom soup, organic mushroom soup, in on top of the mushrooms. And I guess we could keep the temperature up on that, so we'll kind of cook it in there.
Yeah, and I need to
And some water. Okay. We'll go with a water to break it down a little bit. Just to break it in there, and then we'll kind of bring it up to a boil again. Cover it up.
Okay.
I got that right here. Cool. And then it goes right on top of the beans.
There, and then we'll cook it, and then we'll cover it with the crispy onions.
Covered with crispy onions.
Okay.
I think we've covered all the territory. We're not really going to have to top this off for you. I think you know the deal. The mushroom soup and everything goes right on top of the beans. And then the crispy onions go on top of that. And then the whole thing, with the cover on, goes in the oven with the turkey and the extra stuffing and the pies. And we're about not even halfway through the cooking phase. We're still in the early stages. And toward the end of the cooking phase, an hour before the turkey's done, which we're talking about 4 hours of cooking here, of the turkey, you want to flip the turkey over, uncover it, and let it crisp up on the top, the breast side up.
Like the last hour.
Last hour.
And that's when everything else goes in the oven with it.
Yeah. So everything else goes in the oven the last hour, and you can even put it a little early, an hour and a half into the thing. You can flip it. An hour and a half before the end of the cooking cycle, you can flip it. So we're talking about a 4-hour turkey minimum. At 300 minimum. But this is at
It's
350.
really 350, not 300.
Yeah. Let's get you into the picture, and we're going to sign off and say happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everybody.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Okay, there you go. That worked.
Happy New Year too, and thanks for watching.
All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.